morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss regarding another important chapter of Charaka Sharira Sthana, that is the Purusha Vichayam Shariram. So this is also very one of the most important chapter as well as one of the basic principle of Ayurveda. So what Purusha Vichaya Sharira says? Okay. अथात पुरुष विचयं शारीरं व्याख्यास्यामः इति अस्माः भगवान् आत्रेयः. So when we read the Chakrapani commentary, as I already told in the last class, that there is a link between each chapter in Charak Samhita. So in the first commentary of Chakrapani, so he gives some explanation regarding the link between the previous chapter as well as the next chapter. So what is the link between the previous chapter of Sharirasthana, 4th as well as the 5th chapter? So that has been explained in the Chakrapani commentary. Purva अध्याये अभिहितं यावन्तो हि लोके भावस्थावन्तः पुरुषे. So in the previous chapter it has been explained that yavanto hi loke bhavaha. So what are the things present in this loka or the universe? So those bhavas or the things are present in this sharira also. So this line or the quotation has been explained in the previous chapter, that is the 4th chapter of Sharirastha. So because of the explanation, because of the vast explanation of this topic, that has been not described in the previous chapter, because the context was different in the previous chapter. Because of that, they have not explained in that chapter. So the same thing has been explained in the next chapter as Purusha Vichaya Sharira. So that is the reason for explaining the Purusha Vichaya Sharira. So these things which has not been explained in the previous chapter in detail, that has been explained in this chapter. Iti tacha na prapachitam bahuvachatvat. So this topic has not been explained in detail in that chapter. Ataha prapacha abhidhanartam purusha vichayam brute. So in this chapter, to explain this topic in detail, so they have explained Purusha Vichayam Sharira. So now coming to the chapter name. So what is the Purusha Vichaya? Purushasya Vichayanam Lokasamanyena Gananam Purusha Vichaya. So this is also explained in the Chakrapani commentary. Purushasya Vichayanam Lokasamanyena. So what is Purushasya Vichaya? It is the Vichaya refers to the Vishesha Jnana or detailed knowledge regarding the Purusha with respect to the Loka Samanya. So when we compare the Purusha with the Loka, so we will come to know the importance, detailed knowledge regarding the particular thing, that is the Purusha. Purushasya Vichayanam Loka Samanya. With compared to the Loka, so what is the importance of Purusha? So the detailed knowledge regarding this Purusha is nothing but the Purusha Vichaya Sharira. So Purushasya Vichayanam Loka Samanyena Gananam Purusha Vichaya. Tadapi Adhikrutyah Kruto Adhyayah Purusha Vichaya. So detailed knowledge regarding this Purusha with respect to the Loka is nothing but the Purusha Vichaya Sharira. So this is the explanation regarding the link between the previous chapter as well as this chapter and why the name is Purusha Vichaya. So as I already told in the last class, the whole Charak Samhita is in the form of conversation between the Guru as well as Shishya. Here the Shishya is Agnivesha and the Guru is the Punarvasu Atreya. In this chapter also, the whole chapter explanation goes in the same form. That is, the question is asked by the Agnivesha and Punarvasu Atreya answers the question. पुरुषो अयं लोकसम्मितः इति उवाच भगवान् पुनर्वसुरात्रेयः. So, has told by the Atreya Punarvasu, Purusho ayam lokasammita. So whatever there in the Purusha, so that the same bhavas are present in the Loka. This is one statement given by the Punarvasu Atreya. Ityuvacha Bhagavan Atreya. Yavanto hi loke मूर्तिमंथो भाव विशेष स्थावन्तः पुरुषे यावन्तः पुरुषे तावन्ते लोके इति एवं वादिनं भगवन्तम् आत्रेयम्. So what is the meaning of this one? Purusha ayam loka sammita. So that has been expanded or explained by Agnivesha. So yavanto hi loke. So whatever the things present in the loka, that is a murti mantha bhavas. So bhava vishesha tavantah purushe. All these things are present in the Purusha. In the same manner, so whatever there in the Purusha, so those are present in the Loka. So ityevam vadinam bhagavantam atreyam agnivesha uvacha. So this is the statement which has been given by Punarvasu Atreya. So that has been again expanded and explained by the Agnivesha. So again, for this, Agnivesha asks the question to the Atreya. सो नैतावतः वाक्येन उक्तं वाक्यार्थम् अवगाहमाहे भगवतः बुद्ध्वा भूयस्तरमतो अनुव्याख्यायमानं शुश्रूषामः. So after listening to the Punarvasu Atreya, Agnivesha asked the questions. So you have told that, so Purusha ayam loka samhita, whatever the bhavas present in the Purusha, so those bhavas or the things are present in the Loka. So we have given the statement. So whatever there in Purusha and the same things are present in the Loka. So only by this statement, so it is very difficult for us to understand the concept. So we have told that Loka is similar to the Purusha. So whatever the things present in Loka, those things are present in the Sharira. But only by this statement it is very difficult for us to understand. So Agnivesha asked to Atreya to explain in detail about this topic. So for this, Atreya replies to the Agnivesha's first question. So what was the answer given by the Atreya? तमुवाच भगवान् आत्रेयः अपरिसङ्ख्येयः लोक अवयव विशेषः. पुरुष अवयव विशेषः हि अपरिसङ्ख्येयः. So whatever the अपरिसङ्ख्येयः लोक अवयव विशेषः, whatever the bhavas or things present in the loka, they are aparisankhya, we cannot count. So they are aparisankhya. In the same manner, whatever the things present in the Purusha avayava vishesha hi api aparisankhya. So even the things which are present in the Sharira, those are also aparisankhya. To understand this one, again we can see in the commentary. So they have given one example to understand this aparisankhya. Lokasya taru truna pashu adi rupaha avayava. In Loka, taruhu, so that the plants, animals, so all these we cannot have a count on this one. There are aparisankhya, these are. Tataha purushasya cha snayu kandara dhamanyadi rupaha avayava aparisankhya. In the Purusha, so there are many things, snayu, kandara, so these are also aparisankhya. So the one simile has been given here between the Loka as well as Purusha, aparisankhya. So there are many avayavas in the Loka as well as there are many avayavas in the Purushas. Tesham यथा स्थूलम कतिचित भावान सामान्यम अभिप्रेत्य उदाहरयिष्यामः. So again, तानि एकमनः निबोधः सम्यक् उपवर्ण्यमाना Agnivesha. So to understand this concept, Punarvasu Atreya, he gives some other examples to make it easy. So what is the examples? That is षड् धातवः समुदितः पुरुष इति शब्द लभते. So Purusha is a combination of षड् dhatu, that is Panchamahabhuta as well as Atma. So in the same manner, Loka is also षड् धात्वात्मक. Tadyata Prithvi, Aap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, Brahma cha avyaktamiti. So here Loka is also षड् धात्मaka, that is Panchamahabhuta as well as Brahma. In the same manner, Purusha is also षड् धात्मका, that is Panchamahabhuta as well as Atma. एत एव च षड् धातवः समुदिता पुरुष इति शब्द लभ्यते. So he makes the topic very clear by giving the example of षड् dhatu, that is the Panchamahabhuta as well as Atma, how Panchamahabhuta and Atma is responsible for the Sharira. In the same manner, Loka is also constituted of Panchamahabhuta as well as Brahma. So by this he concludes the Samanyatva of Loka as well as Purusha. So this is the answer given for the first question of Agnivesha. That is what is the Samanya in Loka as well as Purusha. How to understand Samanya in Loka as well as Purusha. So with example, Atreya has explained the Samanyatva in Purusha as well as Loka. So in detail again he explains in the next sutra between the similarity how these bhavas present in the Loka as well as Purusha. So how these are षड् धात्वात्मaka Purusha, they have explained many examples in the next Loka, but the main examples are षड् dhatus. So how in Loka as Purusha, so these षड् dhatus are present. Tasya Purushasya Prithvihi Murtihi. Okay. So in the Loka, how there is a Parthiva Murti, Parthiva Prithvi Mahabhuta present in the Loka in the form of Murti. So all the solid substance are the Katinya, which is having the Katina Guna. So those are considered as the Parthiva Bhavas, Prithvi Mahabhuta. And Apha is present in the body in the form of Kleda. All the Kleda Amsha which is present in the body, it is consists of Mahabhuta. Tejo Abhisantapaha. So whatever the Abhisantapa or Daha or temperature present in the Sharira, it is the Teja Mahabhuta present outside the body, that is in the Loka. So Vayuhu Pranaha. So Vayu which is present in the Loka, it is present in the form of Prana in the Sharira. So Uchvasa Nishvasa we say. So that is nothing but the Prana Vayu. Okay. So like Vayu present in the Loka, it is present in the form of Prana in the Sharira. Viyat Sushirani. So like in the Loka, it is the Akasha. So in the Sharira, so the pores as well as the halo structures which is present in the Sharira, so that is the Akasha Mahabhuta. So Brahma and Antaratma. And the last is the Brahma. Like Brahma present in the, which is Avyakta, which is the power of creation. So that is called as a Brahma, which we cannot see, and it is a potent power which is responsible for the production of universe. So that is present in the Sharira in the form of Atma. Atma Tattva is the main thing which is keeping a person alive. So that's why it is compared with the Brahma, which is responsible for the life. So that is how the Brahma is present in the Loka. In the same manner, Atma is present in the Sharira. By this, Atreya Punarvasu has cleared the concept of Samanya between the Loka as well as Purusha. Okay. So like this, the many examples has been explained. So even though these are Avadarana, like these are not the final one. So whatever they have found, they have explained in this chapter. And at the end, he concludes that एवम् एतेन अनुमानेन अनुक्तानामपि लोकपुरुषयोर् अवयवविशेषाणाम् अग्निवेशः सामान्यं विद्यते इति. So these are not the only components which are samanya for loka and purusha. There are many things along with according to anumana. So this is said not by pratyaksha pramana. This is by the anumana pramana. They have told certain things which are samanya in loka as well as purusha. In the same manner, the anukta. So even if we see anything similarity in loka as well as purusha, we can add to these things. It is not the final one. According to the knowledge, according to Anumana Pramana, so even the other things which are Samanya in Loka as well as Purusha, those also we can add to this one. So this is the Loka Purusha Samya which has been explained in Purusha Vichaya Sharira. So next is again the second question asked by Agnivesha after hearing to the Atreya. So Lord Atreya, after listening to the explanation of Atreya, Agnivesha asks, so evam vadinam bhagavantam Atreyam Agnivesha uvacha evam etat sarvam anapavadam yatoktam bhagavata loka purushayo samani. So whatever you have explained, Lord Atreya, so everything is correct. So whatever you have explained, everything is fine regarding the samanyatva of loka as well as purusha. Kinnu asya samanyopadeshasya prayojanamiti. So the second question is, so what is the prayojana of this understanding of loka as well as purusha samanya? So you have explained everything. It is totally agreed and it is correct regarding the purusha as well as loka samanya. Then the next question asked by Agnivesha is, what is the use or the prayojana by understanding of this loka as well as purusha samanya? Why we should know these things? So for this Atreya answers, Bhagavan uvachaha शृणु अग्निवेशः, लिसन अग्निवेश, सर्वलोकम आत्मानि आत्मानां च सर्वलोके समम अनुपश्यतः सत्याः बुद्धिः समुत्पद्यते. So this is the most important one. That is nothing but the importance why we should know about the loka purusha samya. Sarvalokam atmanam cha sarvalokam. One who understands sarvaloka, loka is present in ourselves, that is the Atma, and Atma sarvaloke samam anupashyata. And if we understand the loka in ourselves and ourselves as a loka, so what happens by understanding these things? There will be production of satya buddhi samutpadyate. There will be production of satya buddhi. So this is the first importance of loka purusha samya. So what is satya buddhi? It is the real knowledge. Satya buddhi is nothing but the real knowledge. We will see in the importance of this loka purusha samya in the next shloka. So what is this satya buddhi actually? So the first thing is, by understanding that loka is present in ourself and ourself is present in the loka, one gets the satya buddhi, that is the real knowledge. Sarva loka hi atmani pashyato bhavatya atmaiva sukha dukkayo karta na anya iti. So what happens by knowing satya buddhi? So what happens by understanding loka and purusha samya? Sarva loke hi atmani pashyato bhavatya atmaiva sukha dukkayo karta. If a person understands that the loka is present in him and the atma, the same thing is present in the loka, so one gets the satya buddhi. After this, the person will come to know that whatever the things are happening, sukha or dukkha, he is the responsible for that thing. So whatever the things happening to him, that is the sukha or dukkha, so he himself is the responsible for everything. सर्वलोके हि आत्मनि पश्यतो भवति आत्मैव सुखदुःखयो कर्ता न अन्यस्य. Nothing is responsible for the sukha dukkha of a person. We ourselves are the responsible for all the things, that is the sukha as well as dukkha. So by understanding the satya buddhi, one comes to know that the person is the reason for the sukha as well as dukkha, and he is responsible for his own acts. The next thing is karmatmakatvacha hetvadibhir yukta. There are two things which are born with this sharira. Karmatmakatvacha. Karmatmakatvacha means the previous actions, that is the purva kruta karma, purva janma kruta karma. So the body is attached with the purva janma kruta karmas, as well as hetvadibhir yukta. Hetvadibhir yukta means there are hetvadi panchaka, 5 factors from birth to death. That is the hetu, that is the karna for this utpatti of sharira. Hetu, utpatti, vriddhi, upaplava and viyoga. So that has been explained in the next shloka. So these are called as hetvadi panchaka. So that is called as hetvadibhir yukta. So the body is having these 2 factors attached with hetvadi panchaka as well as karma, previous actions. Okay. Sarva loko ahamiti viditva jnanam purvamuttapyate apavargayati. So even though there are karma as well as hetvadi are attached with this sharira, by understanding the loka and purusha samya, so what happens? Viditva jnanam purvamuttapyate apavargayati. So the final stage is the moksha, apavarga. So by understanding these things, what happens? The person will attain the moksha, that is the apavarga. So what is moksha? Moksha is nothing but the rajastama abhavat balavat karma samkshayat. So moksha is the state where raja as well as tama guna are faded and there will be karma kshaya, balavat karma samkshayat. So then we call it as the moksha. So why we should understand loka purusha samya? Importance is the satya buddhi. By loka purusha samya there will be production of satya buddhi, and by satya buddhi there will be moksha prapti. Tatra sanyogapekshino loka shabda. So what is loka here is a sanyoga apekshi. So sanyoga means the sanyoga of panchamahabhuta as well as Brahma is considered as a loka. Shardhatu samudayo hi samanyatah sarvaloke. So samanyatah this loka has been considered as a shardhatu samudaya. So shardhatu samudaya means panchamahabhuta as well as Brahma. So this is the importance of loka purusha samya, which has been explained by Atreya. Why? After the Agnivesha's question, what is the prayojana of this understanding loka as well as purusha? So one thing is there will be production of satya buddhi, and the second one is for the moksha prapti. Okay. So by attaining satya buddhi there will be moksha prapti. So next the question arises, what is the satya buddhi? So that is the first importance of loka purusha samya is satya buddhi. So that has been explained from shloka number 16 to 19, the detailed description of satya buddhi. Shuddha sattvasya ya shuddha satya buddhi pravartate. When this satya buddhi will arise, when a person is having the shuddha sattva, that is the sattva is mana. The person, if he is having the shuddha mana, then there will be production of satya buddhi. Shuddha sattvasya ya shuddha satya buddhi pravartate. So what happens when there is a production of satya buddhi? When a person will get the real knowledge, what happens? Yaya binatti atibalam maha mohamayam tama. So first thing is it will eradicate the maha mohamaya tamoguna. Once the person will get the shuddha sattva or the shuddha mana, after he attains the satya buddhi, first thing is there will be expelling of the tamoguna, or the tamoguna will be eradicated. Yaya binati atibalam mahamohamayam tama. So the mahamohamaya tama will be eradicated first. After that what happens? Sarva bhavas swabhavagno yaya bhavati nispruha. So after attaining the satya buddhi and after the tamaguna is eradicated, one gets the complete knowledge regarding the particular things. Sarva bhava swabhavagno yaya bhavati nispruha. The person will gain the knowledge of everything as it is. Sarva bhava swabhavagno. He will get the knowledge regarding the everything with his root. Means the real knowledge is attained about the every bhava padarthas. Sarva bhava swabhavagno yaya bhavati nispruha. Nispruha here refers to the without any obstruction, or the real knowledge without any addition or deletion. So the person will get the complete knowledge regarding a particular thing when a person gets the satya buddhi and he is having shuddha manas as well as without tamoguna. After that what happens? Yogam yaya sadhayate. The person will attain the yoga siddhi. Sankhya sampadyate yaya. After that the applied part of yoga is the jnana. Okay. Sankhya sampadyate yaya. Sankhya refers to the jnana. The person will get the knowledge regarding everything. Yaya na upaiti ahankaram no upasyate karanam yaya. So the person will not be having any type of ahankara. He will free from ahankara. No upasyate karanam yaya. He will not think about the punarjanma, the karana for punarjanma. Once he attains the satya buddhi, the person will not be having any thinking regarding the karana for punarjanma. Yaya na lambate kinchit sarva sannyasate. So he will be free from all the desires as well as the worldly desires. So sarva sannyasate yaya. Yati brahma yaya nityam ajaram shantam avyayam. So he attains the final stage, that is the yati brahma yaya nityam ajaram shantam avyayam. So this is also called as vidya, siddhir, mati, medha, prajna, jnanam, sa, mata. So these are also called as vidya, siddhir, matir, medha, prajna and jnana. So this is the detailed description of satya buddhi. So, or we can say the importance of loka as well as the purusha. So by loka as well as purusha samya, the first importance is the satya buddhi. The second importance of understanding loka purusha samya is लोके विततमात्मानं लोकं च आत्मनि पश्यतः परावरदृशः शान्तिर्ज्ञानमूलं न नश्यति. Loke vitatam lokam cha atmani pashyati. So one who understand that loka is present in our sharira and lokam cha atmani pashyati, and atma is present in the loka. Paravara drushaha shantir jnanamulam na nashyati. Here para refers to the Brahma and avara refers to the Prakriti, Adi, Ahankara. Okay, Prakriti, Avyakta, Ahankara. Those are called as a avara. Para avara drushaha shantir jnanamulam na nashyati. So one who attains the knowledge of this para and avara, so that knowledge cannot be destructed by understanding the loka and purusha samya. Paravara drusha shantir, the shanti which has attained by understanding the knowledge regarding this para and avara, so such type of shanti cannot be destructed by understanding loka as purusha samya. So this is the second importance of loka purusha samya, which we can see in purusha vichaya sharira. So these are the two importance of loka purusha samya. So whatever the things has been explained in this purusha vichaya, these are for the moksha prapti. So unlike in other samhitas, Charaka Samhita has having some uniqueness because of this reason. Because it is not only Dhatu Samya Kriya Chokta Tantrasyasya Prayojanam, but also the Atyanta Dukkha Nivrutti or the Moksha Prapti is also one of the aim of this one. Why this has been explained is Charak Samhita having some influence of darshanas. So the main aim of darshana is the Moksha Prapti. So that's why in Charak Samhita we get some of the concepts which are towards the Moksha Prapti. So one of the such chapter is the Purusha Vichaya Sharira, which is mainly for the Moksha Prapti, which has described mainly for the Moksha Prapti. So for the Moksha Prapti, the Purusha Vichaya or the understanding Loka as well as Purusha is very important. Another thing is applied part of this one, how to understand this in today's present era. So we have seen in the Janapada Udvamsa, there is one chapter called as Janapada Udvamsa in Vimanasthana of Charak Samhita. So what they have explained there are 4 factors which are responsible for Janapada Udvamsa, that is Vayu, Jala, Desha and Kala. And even today we can see that pollution, air pollution, water pollution as well as land pollution. So what is the responsible factor for these things? So the person, we himself are responsible for the contamination of these things. Because of the not proper dumping of the waste, there will be water pollution, and because of the fertilizers, more use of fertilizers as well as improper use of fertilizers lead to the Bhumi, Desha Vikruti. Along with that, there will be Kala will also get Vikruta. So, who is responsible for all these reasons? So, that is the person or the we himself are responsible for the contamination of these things. Once we know the knowledge of these things, why they are getting contaminated and what is the responsibility of our to set right these things is by Satya Buddhi. Once we attain the Satya Buddhi, we come to know that what is good and what is bad. So this is the main importance of understanding Loka Purusha Samya. Thank you.